Even if you were raised to be kind to everyone, there are some people you shouldn't be kind to. Know who they are? As we get older, our time, energy, and peace become more valuable. They're no longer things we can afford to give freely to everyone who asks. Age brings clarity, and one of the hardest lessons is realizing that kindness isn't always a virtue. It can be a vulnerability. There are people who thrive off your generosity, your patience, and your silence. The longer you allow them into your life, the more they'll take from you. In this video, we'll explore 5 types of people you should stop being kind to as you age. And these aren't strangers or people you barely know. They're often those sitting closest to you, family, longtime neighbors, or even friends you've had for decades. But if you're not paying attention, their behavior can slowly wear you down without you even noticing. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who to be cautious around, why their presence is draining, and how to protect your emotional well-being without feeling bad about it. Because these years of your life aren't about fixing others, they're about preserving your peace. Let's begin. Number 1, the constant taker. A clear sign that someone no longer deserves your kindness is when they always come around with their hand out. You know the type. Every phone call or visit is just a request. It's never about checking in or enjoying your company. It's always a favor, a ride, a loan, your time, and always urgent. Think about someone like Diane, age 71, who has always been the dependable one in her family. Need a last-minute dog sitter? Diane says yes. Someone to run an errand? Diane's on it. But one day, she noticed something. When it was her birthday, no one called. When she got sick, no one brought soup. No one even asked if she was okay. That's when it hit her. This wasn't a mutual relationship. She was giving, always, and it never came back around. We carry this strange guilt when we think about stepping back, especially with family. We convince ourselves that being needed is a blessing, that saying no is selfish, that maybe next time they'll show appreciation. But here's the truth. If someone only shows up when they need something, they don't see you as a person. They see you as a service. As you get older, your energy, strength, and time are not infinite. Giving all of that to people who only take is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to set limits. You're allowed to save your energy for people who give something back. And if someone walks away because you stop saying yes all the time, that says everything. You were never truly cared for. You were just useful. Don't let kindness become a chain. Don't let your generosity become your burden. At this stage, every moment should feed your spirit, not drain it. Number 2, the chronic critic. There's a certain kind of exhaustion that comes from spending time with someone who always has something negative to say about your outfit, your choices, even your past. They might not raise their voice, but their comments cut all the same, delivered in a steady stream that wears you down over time. Take someone like Frank, 82, who visits his cousin every week. He brings fresh bread, helps out, and tries to stay connected. But without fail, his cousin always finds something to nitpick. Your hair looks different. Why'd you do that? You sold that old chair. It was valuable. You're always too sensitive. Frank used to smile through it, thinking it was harmless. But eventually, he started dreading those visits. They chipped away at his confidence, and he lost the joy that used to come with seeing family. The danger of constant criticism is that it quietly erodes your self-esteem. These people often disguise their negativity as concern. They say they're just being honest or trying to help. But what they're really doing is eating away at your peace, one comment at a time. And when you don't push back, something in you starts to shrink. You stop sharing, stop trying new things, and brace yourself for the next round of passive jabs. At this age, you've earned the right to feel secure in who you are. You don't have to justify your choices. You don't have to please anyone. If someone leaves you feeling wrong, small, or unworthy, stop handing them access to your life. Kindness doesn't mean enduring emotional wear and tear. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is step away and say, I won't let you rewrite my story anymore. Number 3, the guilt tripper. Some people have a way of making you feel like the bad guy, even when you've done nothing wrong. They won't argue or yell. They just drop the right words, give the right look, and suddenly you're filled with doubt. Meet Beverly, 79. She lives alone but tries to stay involved with her extended family. Her niece only calls when she wants something, and when Beverly gently declines, the response is silence. Or worse, I thought family was supposed to help each other. Beverly isn't being cruel. She's tired and she's trying to prioritize her well-being. But guilt has a sneaky way of making you second-guess yourself. It whispers that maybe you are being selfish. Guilt trippers know how to use your best traits, your loyalty, your kindness, against you. They make it feel like setting boundaries is some form of betrayal. And slowly, you start over-explaining, apologizing, bending over backwards just to avoid their disapproval. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your emotional bandwidth. You don't have to justify every no. If someone only treats you well when you're overextending yourself for them, that's not love, it's manipulation. And you're not a tool for soothing someone else's insecurities. Just because you have more free time or life experience doesn't mean your boundaries should be compromised. Next time someone makes you feel guilty for protecting your peace, let that be your cue to pull back further, not to explain more. Number 4, the secret competitor. Not every toxic person is obvious. Some smile, support you, even pretend to root for you, but underneath the surface, they're quietly competing. These are the secret competitors, the ones who aren't content just succeeding. They need to outshine you too. Picture someone like Marie, 76. She finally decided to join an art class after years of setting her creativity aside. Her old friend Bonnie joined too, saying she wanted to support Marie. But week after week, Bonnie would make these innocent comments. "Your painting is bold, definitely not what I expected at your age." Or, "I love how carefree it looks. Technique isn't everything, right?" At first, Marie laughed it off, but gradually her confidence began to fade. She started wondering if she even belonged in the class. Secret competitors don't openly criticize. They use subtle comparisons, backhanded compliments, and carefully chosen words to keep you second-guessing yourself. They always seem to have a slightly better story, a bigger win, a louder applause. And the real danger? You start dimming your own light to avoid making them uncomfortable. But in this season of life, you shouldn't have to compete. You've earned the right to grow and celebrate yourself without comparison. If someone around you can't celebrate your wins without making them about themselves, step back. You deserve relationships that feel like encouragement, not competition. Number 5, the passive-aggressive manipulator. Some people don't argue or confront. They play emotional games instead. They use sarcasm, silence, and indirect jabs that leave you wondering if you're imagining things. Take Roger, 83. He's lived on the same street for years. His neighbor Jim always greets him cheerfully. But when Roger asks for help moving something heavy, Jim chuckles. "Getting slow, huh?" Or, "I'd help, but I need these knees to keep working." Jim doesn't outright say no. Instead, he wraps his refusal in jokes, leaving Roger unsure if he's been insulted or just brushed off. Passive-aggressive people are hard to pin down. They cancel plans without explanation, ignore messages, and twist things around if you call them out. They'll accuse you of being sensitive or difficult, and after a while you start tiptoeing around them, staying quiet, avoiding conflict, pretending things are fine. But they're not. The longer you stay in this pattern, the more you silence your own needs just to maintain a false sense of peace. At this stage, peace isn't optional, it's essential, and anyone who disturbs it with mind games isn't worth keeping around. You don't need to confront or fix them. You don't even need to explain. Just create space. Reclaim your quiet. Because fake kindness wrapped in manipulation isn't kindness at all, and you deserve the real thing. Final thoughts. Now that you've learned about these 5 types of people, take a moment to reflect. Are any of them too close in your life? Are you giving your time, patience, or energy to people who only take, criticize, guilt, compete, or manipulate? As we get older, our peace becomes more precious. You've carried enough, forgiven too much, and stayed silent too long to keep doing it now. These years aren't for tolerating unhealthy patterns. They're for clearing them out. You have the right to choose who gets access to your time, your home, and your heart. Being kind doesn't mean making yourself available to people who leave you drained. It means showing compassion with boundaries, warmth with wisdom. And if that means letting go of someone you've known for years, that's okay. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is finally say, enough. So if today's message resonated with you, don't let it fade. Reflect on it. Write it down. Decide to stop giving away pieces of yourself to people who never give back. Because this stage of life isn't just about surviving. It's about healing, growing, and surrounding yourself with people who genuinely see and appreciate you. And that starts by letting go of those who never did. If this inspired you, share it with 3 people who might benefit. Subscribe for more empowering content. And remember, your next chapter can be your most vibrant yet.